This past Friday, we saw the release of Shazam the Fury of Gods. Well, maybe it's just me, but this movie beforehand has little to less hype and it's not doing well at the box office either. But if we have to blame someone, it has to be Warner Bros. Discovery for the poor advertising of this film. That does not mean it is bad by any measures. I quite enjoyed the movie. Um, I mean, this movie, as far as I believe, was quite watchable, more than it should have been. Because of the Rotten Tomatoes rating of 58%, I expected it to be like bruh movie, but it quite turned out to be quite fun. And let's get on to the review, shall we? This movie, as far as I think, takes place after Black Adam and before Peacemaker series. We can assume that on the basis of the post-credit scene. Don't miss the post-credit scene; they are very important. Now, this movie was quite fun actually, and the main plot revolved around three goddesses trying to get their revenge against humans and wizards for stuff they did to them years ago. So that's basically the main plot. But those three goddesses have been developed well. All three had their different motives, different ideas, and different perspective rather than just grouping all three of them as one evil trio with just one clear mindset of destroying the world. They had different mindsets and the what was their outcome in the movie that also turned out to be different for each one of them. This movie had a unique perspective in dealing with the villains. Like, out of those three, I won't get into spoilers. Anything I say would be spoilers, so I will just now skip that part for right now. One major complaint I have with this movie is the excessive amount of comedy. Like, there's a lot of nonsense comedy in this movie. I get it. Shazam is a comic character. I love it. I mean, Shazam 1 had comedy, it's okay. But this movie, it had a lot more. Like, in the past part, there were serious parts when Billy tried to get to his mother or the final battle. But here it was a lot of comedy. Like, 75% of the movie was just comedy. They eventually reached the final battle. The final battle was good, it was fun, it was serious, but they could have cut a lot of comic parts in this movie. There were a lot of nonsense comic parts. There were some good, they hit the spot, but many of them they just went right through. This is the same part where Thor Love and Thunder fell apart. They just overdid the comedy and that just killed the film's narrative. I'm not saying that's the same case with Shazam. It delivered what it wanted to, but it could have been a better movie with less comedy spots. If you want to create a perfect comic and serious superhero film, look at Thor Ragnarok. Or maybe a little more balanced film, look at Ant-Man 1. They give comedy where it's needed and they get serious where we want them to be. And that's the fine line of balance which the creators nowadays in the superhero movies are missing. That's why we have recently seen MCU Phase 4 and a lot of the movies fail and not exceed the expectations we set them to. It's been continuously said that we need to lower our expectations, but how can you imagine us to lower our expectations when you deliver some banger movies in the past? Alright, now let's get back to Shazam rather than just ranting on the current movie status. The final scene of this movie was quite the best part of this movie. It was the best thing in this movie. It was like Billy doing the most emotional thing possible and it quite got me off the card. And I think it would have been a lot more impactful, a lot more emotional if they had not given away the special cameo at the very end of the movie in TV spots earlier the release of the movie. And I'm not going to tell who that cameo was, though many of you might have seen the TV spots, but for those who haven't, I won't tell who the cameo was. And maybe they did that to generate some hype for the movie, but yet they could not manage to pull it off and succeeded in ruining not the not completely ruining it, it was still very impactful, but ruining a major part and lowering down the value of the final scene. As I said, it's poor advertising. So I won't get into spoilers, don't worry. Overall, it was a decent movie. I expected something similar to Shazam 1, and that's what we got. See, if you hate Shazam 1, then this one is ain't for you either. But if you liked watching Shazam 1, then you will have fun watching this one too. Don't forget to watch the post-credit scene as they have ties with Black Adam movie, not the Black Adam character, but the movie. So it may be a vocal point for future of DC, where it goes after the Flash movie. At the end, I will give it a 60% on the SCP meter. And once again, thanks for 4,000 subscribers. Keep showing me love and comment if you want to see more reviews in future of new series or movies. And till then, I'll see you again. Stay safe, stay too sweet, and good night.
But only jealous sometimes. Inhale your smoke, but you still act surprised. It's not my fault when